Warning: the following content may not be suitable for all listeners and contains crude humor that may be offensive to some. Listener discretion is advised. This is Satire Is Not Dead. Not this week. You're not going to hear anything very inappropriate this week. I just wanted to give an update on my podcast. First of all, I am Harvey, your host, the host of Satire Is Not Dead. And this program is brought to you by Cinescape Media. You can learn more about this program and their other programs by visiting their website, cinescape.media. I just wanted to give an update on my podcast. The last few weeks, the nature of my work is in its peak season right now. And I'm not going to say who I work for, but I will say that I'm in the fuel transport business. And here in Louisiana, they're in the middle of the rice harvest. And the way in other parts of the country, they're called grain silos. And here we call them rice dryers. And they have to dry, not to bore you with, rural junk. But I supply the fuel that they use to run the dryers for the rice. So it's been wide open, and that's why I've been only doing a podcast every other week until this stuff drops off. Well, had a program all planned out this week, and then along comes these two storms, this Marco dud, which is a good thing for us. It was just kind of a rainmaker. But I think it's Laura. And right now it is Tuesday, August 25th, 9 o'clock Central Time. So you'll be hearing this, I'm assuming tomorrow morning. But I wanted to let everyone know that we are in the position now of I'm having to get as much work done as I can, and the conditions of the weather are really going to shit. So I'm going to do as much work as I can tomorrow, and we are preparing to evacuate. All my kids, grandkids, and in-laws have all evacuated. And they're all in safe places. Yeah. Well, one of my youngest son lives in Albuquerque, New Mexico. So what he deals with is like scorpions, rattlesnakes, and extreme heat. But everybody else is going north. Which we're kind of boxed in because this thing's going to come north really fast. But regardless, where we live, our house was built in the 40s, big, well-built house. But we have these very old oak trees right next to us. Excuse me. And we honestly we didn't go through Hurricane Rita down here. We left for Hurricane Rita. But we know people that stayed here for Hurricane Rita and said that they would never do it again. Now, this thing is shaping up to be a strong 3, possibly, borderline 4 category. And we do not intend to sit in this house because I've sat through, we stayed for minor hurricanes in a home we owned previously. And laying in there, listening to that thing come through, hearing the boards creak, the wind picking up and never dropping off. Well, I say never dropping off, not dropping off for a good 2 minutes, which is a long time when the winds are constantly increasing. We are choosing not to stay here because if a tree comes into the house while we're here, we're stuck. What do we do then? We can't get out on the road and go find safety. We just have to sit here and watch it rain into our house. So we are going to leave tomorrow, and God willing, next week I'll have the program I prepared for this week. I told I told more than one people in the last week watching this stuff develop that this year has been just a son of a bitch. And, put aside all the virus bullshit, the politics, I am done asking, what the hell could happen next, because I don't want to know. So, what I'm going to do is just provide this update so everyone knows why there's this sporadic nature of Satire Is Not Dead right now. I don't know if anyone has ever, I'm sure some of you listening is prepared for these kind of storms. It's a lot of work. It's stressful. You sit there and hope that something changes, but you can't take anything for granted. And you just have to do what you think is right. And it's so odd because when you make these kinds of decisions, and it involves your work, and you're kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't. You want to stay, but you also need to leave, and nothing really feels right. And we're just gonna head out tomorrow around noon, and hopefully come home with our home fully intact, if not, just with minor damage. I mean, we're insured and everything's, all that. But I worked in Lake Charles, Louisiana, after Hurricane Rita passed through, and I was a residential carpenter. And we were allowed to go back in because we were considered an essential service. And some of the people were insured fully, but it does not soften the blow of having to come home, see your home destroyed, go through the process of claims, wait until someone can get to the process of rebuilding your home, and it's never going to be the same once it's, you have a tree fall through the middle of it. So we're hoping that does not come to pass. And I just wanted to get on. And you should be hearing this Wednesday morning. And Wednesday morning, by the time you hear this, I will probably have been out at work for 3 hours. And I'm going to do as much as I can. And then we are prepared to just go north to North Louisiana. And then come back as soon as I can, because the kind of work I do just doesn't stop. And we could use this region, and just like any other, like the East Coast, West Coast, anytime they get a typhoon or whatever you'll call it in other parts of the country, as much prayers as possible would help. And we're hoping to get up in the morning and see that these storms, when they approach the coast, we're seeing enough of them, do funny things. And sometimes they'll do this little wobble and maybe go a little bit further west, but sometimes they can come a little bit closer to us. And you're right closer to the eye on the bad side, which is the east side. We are pulling all this moisture out from the Gulf of Mexico up towards us. But if you're on the west side, you're not going to get so much rain, but you can also get tornadoes. So there's nothing really good about it. So having said all that, I just want to thank all the guys at Cinescape Media for hosting me. They've been great guys, and I plan to be with them for as long as I can. And I just wanted to kind of off subject, but speaking on the way things are going in this country, I really appreciate the fact that I can tell from looking at the guys at Cinescape Media's some of their listening to their podcasts, to look at their social media. I know we all have differing political stances and beliefs and all that, and it's really refreshing to be able to work with guys who you don't have to be mortal enemies with because of that. And that's one of the biggest problems that we're having right now in this country. If you have a difference of opinion with someone, then you just, I mean, this whole thing of, people berating other people for wearing a mask or not wearing a mask, and everything. It's just, I've said it in other podcasts, but I'm not going to belabor the point. We're just being played against one another. And these storms, watching this happen, trying to get my work done, watching my wife stress, watching my kids stress, and trying to figure out what to do, what not to do. It's really put everything into perspective. And right now, I just wish in this country, people would just pull together, especially with this coming election. I mean, it doesn't matter who you vote for. You don't have to be enemies. So, I just wanted to say that about Cinescape, and please browse cinescape.media and listen to the other podcasts that they provide. And also, I've been listening on a regular basis to a podcast called The Paranormal Patriot, and it's hosted by Tom Velasquez, and I'll provide a link for that also. But by all means, go to Cinescape.media and check out everything they have to offer, because it's a great group of guys. And I will be talking to you next week. Thank you.